Hey everyone, welcome back. I kind of spent the day here. It's Saturday. I spent the day kind of tearing things apart in the studio and kind of reimagining my setup and trying to simplify things a little bit. And things are pretty disheveled, as you can see. That's still a work in progress back there. And definitely everything is not in its right place. Uh, and that being said, I decided to kind of test the system out, and I'm going to do it by listening to the Smile, the Tiny Desk concert. And I pulled up some info on here, and it looks like the songs that they do here live are Panavision, The Smoke, and Skirting on the Surface. Now, I know I did Panavision and Skirting on the Surface. The Smoke, I don't think I did that one. I don't know why it's not ringing a bell. So I don't think I did that one. So I'm really interested to hear what this is going to sound like, in that type of environment where things are just really stripped down to bare bones. Especially this band that to my ear, create music that's pretty complicated and pretty produced when you listen to the records. But they've always, wowed me when I watch their live concerts. So I think this is going to be really special. So I'm really, really looking forward to this. And hopefully I don't have any technical difficulties. Like I said, I did a lot of changing up of some things. So let's give it a whirl. Let's see what we got.
If I go
like a child, like a child, like a child. Wow, wow! Like I said, I've heard that before, but this was really special to have it, to hear it stripped down to that level, and just still be so powerful. Really good. So talking, I talked about the song before, but I needed to, I need to talk about it a little bit here. When I hear the beginning of this song, it reminds me when I started going to school, going to college for music. I was in a real experimental kind of stage where I would play stuff that was just kind of pushing the limit of stuff that was really out there. And the minute I heard the opening chords in here and those opening arpeggios in here, it just brought me back to that time. Another thing I want to say is that when I hear some of the note choices, they're out there and they're very uncharacteristic of traditional Western harmony. You know, if you don't know Radiohead, I think maybe your first thought might be, what is this? You know, what is this? It doesn't make any sense. You know, and it may be easy, especially if you know a little something about music, it may be easy to dismiss it and go, "Yeah, that's just this, these guys are just making this stuff up. This isn't even real music," or something like that, you know. But the more you know, you listen to the band, the more you realize, no, that's not the case at all. They're really going out there on a limb harmonically with a lot of this stuff, and it's not just random. It's not just, you know, weird to be weird. It's well thought out. It's very interesting. And this song, you know, the whole thing is in seven. The whole feel is in seven, and then the B section, it's still in seven, but the phrase is 14 beats long. You know, it's still in seven, but it's just kind of like the phrasing is now twice as long. So rather than one phrase fitting in 7 beats, it's now fitting in 14. So it's really interesting. It's really well thought out, and very very interesting, very interesting. And I always like listening to anything Tom York does. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's see what we have here. Back in the day, I had a Jazzmaster, and I have to say it was the worst guitar I ever owned. I had a 1966 Jazzmaster. I bought it from a friend who he had that guitar when we were in high school, and we were all playing in bands and stuff. And eventually, somewhere in the early 70s, I think I bought it from him. I don't have it anymore, and I didn't like it because of the bridge on it. It had, if you're familiar with the Jazzmaster bridge, it's the little bridge saddles are very much like they put on the Mustangs and the cheaper guitars. Instead of just having one groove for the string to sit in, there was kind of a threaded little piece of like threaded screw bolt or something like that. And when the string sat in the slot was kind of crooked, so the string didn't sit, you know, in a groove that was like this. It was more at an angle, and I thought that it made it's to my ear, it sounded a little sharp when you picked down, and then a little bit flat when you picked up, just the tiniest bit. And then sometimes they just buzzed, so we kind of called it the sitar guitar, because it just it never really worked right. I eventually changed to a Gibson style bridge on there, and completely I had it done down on 48th Street in Manhattan, back when that was the music street where everything was going on. And I'm sure I devalued the guitar after a while, because of that modification. Anyway, but it was more playable for me. I just didn't like the neck. I didn't like the radius. Anyway, so I see jazz masters every once in a while, and I go, I'm happy people can play them, but I just never could.
They said I could talk, but I can't
That's
talk
tuned
because
down.
it's too early in the day. Which is why I'm wearing sunglasses. Right? That's what you do when you get old, if you're a rock star. And then you do that.
Turned on the piano. I wanted to. So it's an E. That was pretty wild. I haven't heard that one before. Interesting the way they fool around with the time signature on that lick. Most of it was in 4/4. I think I was catching a couple of times where there was where they drop a beat and do something shorter, but I wasn't sure. I'd have to go back and listen again. Interesting song. I like how much sound and interesting textures they can make with just these instruments, especially when the guitar comes in. It got really interesting. I'm going to go back a little bit to that. Right? So it was really interesting. So the guitar player's doing these arpeggios on there, but the sax is doing a little counterpoint line underneath there. And when I first heard it, I thought, it sounds like there's another guitar playing, but it was the sax line in there that was really kind of fitting in with that guitar part, and I thought that was really well done. I like that a lot. I'm going to go back. I want to hear that again. This part's all in 4, right? I think there's a bar 2 in there. Yes. So, what was that? I still can't catch that. That's so cool. I gotta figure out what that is. Straight ahead. I think it comes here. Yeah. It would have. Cool tune. I'll have to go back and take a listen.
To the
So how cool was that? That was just really cool. I mean when I heard the official song and the video of that, it just kind of blew me away. And what I like about this, I like when everything is stripped down like this because you really hear the song in its most basic form. And a couple of things to me that are amazing about this. So these songs aren't your typical verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And especially Tom York's vocal lines, they're out there. And I mean out there. I mean he's not just singing a simple melody that's repeated and just has different words the second time around. He's really adventurous and not only adventurous but kind of fearless where he goes with his melodies because they're just unlike anything that you've ever heard before, or at least that I've heard before. So it's to me it's difficult. Somebody I get asked once in a while, why don't you guys do a Radiohead song? It's like I don't think I could ever memorize and do that song justice because you would have to really really listen to and put in a lot of time to get that song just right, and it's not the kind of stuff that you would just want to do a crappy version of. It's something you want to nail and even put some of your own spin on there. But if you're going to put your own spin on it, you better be able to do the legit version of it and understand what it is, and whatever you do to put your own spin on that better be something that adds to the song, or else it's not good. So watching Tom York sing that, and to sing these difficult and frankly kind of odd melodies that and to play bass while you're singing it, or to play guitar while you're singing, or piano. Okay, so I can sing and play at the same time. That's not a problem. But for me to sing something like that, I would have to put in so much mental effort and so much repetition to hear it over and over and over to be able to do it like that I have to give him a lot of credit. That's I mean, he wrote the song, he knows it, but it's not easy. That's not easy to do, it's really something. So and listening to the guitar on there, so he had these long delays on it, almost working like a looper, where he would do the arpeggiated part like that D minor C B flat thing, but then he was doing with his thumb, he was putting like these counterpoint bass parts over it, and that's when I first took a look at it and said, okay, there's something going on there with a looper or with a long delay, and by the end I could hear that it was a long delay because he was playing over the riffs that he had done a few bars earlier, and then going on and on and on and on, and then at the end speeded it up until it was all this big wash of sound. A really cool way to use these effects, and to do it live is at this stripped down version. I have to give these guys a lot of credit. I really enjoyed this. I think this was really great. I didn't hear any sax on this one, so it was just these guys. It was really well done. To get the timing right, especially when you have a long delay like that, or you're playing with a looper, for the drummer, it's really hard to be able to listen to a loop like that and to keep in time, because what happens is when musicians are playing without any kind of loop or click or anything like that, the timing is kind of a fluid thing. You hear maybe the drummer pushing the beat a little bit, and you go with it, and then the drummer hears the bass player kind of laying back a little bit, and he goes with it, and the time becomes a very dynamic and fluid thing. But the minute you have a loop like this, it's so easy to get out of sync and to have everything go completely mental, that I was really keyed in on watching the drummer, and he's just playing along like it's nothing. He didn't have any issues with that. I didn't think he was listening to a click or anything like that, which I wouldn't think he would. But I'm going to go back and listen to a little of that. So this is especially here where things could get out of control. So right here, so the guitar player, and who's playing guitar in this? I'm learning about all this stuff. Johnny Greenwood. Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't want to say in case I was wrong. If you look, he looped up the high arpeggio, and then he's using his thumb to play kind of like a little, not necessarily a bass line, but a lower pitched line in there. And now he's doing like the low parts of the chords in there with that high part going. Now you hear the lick he just played while he plays something else over it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, and so musical. To be able to use that equipment, that technology, and to do something that musical, especially at the end, you hear ba 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 ba, that little lick going on in there with the little fast lines in there.
That's it.
So cool. So cool. So that was really cool. So when you hear something like that, it can be one of two things. It could be really, really well thought out, and it's like, yes, this is how the song ends, or it could be a happy accident. And don't care which it is. I think it's the former. I think it's something that was well thought out, and at least the technique. It's like, okay, these lines I'm playing now, they're going to be the lines that we hear at the end when we wrap things up, and I turn up the probably the feedback on there or the modulation and get things going. That's going to be the line that repeats. So he's kind of setting up this sonic texture over there. So I think that the technique is well rehearsed, and that leaves him enough room to be able to change it up. If he's playing at a different time and he wants to go with a different lick, it's the technique that he's got that he's going to use. So I think that's really cool. So anyway, the smile. Tiny Desk concert. Very cool, very cool. And I guess there were. This was before I think that particular album came out. What did I think I saw something here that said they were kind of just previewing some songs from that. So anyway, pretty cool, pretty cool. So hopefully everything worked out. My equipment here, my setup here seems to be a lot better. It's basically what I want. There it is. There's the like and subscribe. So that's working. So anyway, it's pretty cool. So you could see that I still don't have everything completely set up in OBS yet. So you're going to see a little weird, some of the edit boxes show up and things like that. But anyway, I just couldn't wait to get something done. So here we go. The smile. See you guys in a little bit. Thanks for hanging with me.